नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवद्गीता श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति एतं नानावताराणां निधानं नियोगं यस्यां शांशेन सृज्यन्ते बताना जैसे विष्णु without because समस्त अवतार में प्रवेश करते हैं प्रेक्षक का समस्त अवतार के उद्गम स्थान है इसी रूप के अंश ब्रह्मा तथा ब्रह्मा के अंश मरीचि आदि ऋषिगण देव तीर्थ मनुष्य आदि समस्त प्राणी कहते हैं. So you see that Srimad Bhagavatam. Etam nānāvatārāṇam nidhānam vidamāgyanam yasyam shamshena sajjante Etam, this form, Nana, multifarious, avatarāṇam, of the incarnations, nidhānam, force, Vijam, seed, of Vayam, indestructible, yes, whose Ansha, plenary portion, Anshena, part of the plenary portion. Srijante, create. Deva, demigods, Piryaka, animals, Nara, Agada, human beings and others. This form, the second manifestation of the Purusha, is the source and indestructible seed of multifarious incarnations within the universe. From the particles and portions of this form, different living entities like demigods, men, and others are created. The Purusha, after creating innumerable universes in the Mahatattva, entered in each of them as the second Purusha, Daivata Vishnu. When he saw that within the universe there was only darkness and space without a resting place, he filled half of the universe with water from his own perspiration and laid himself down on the same water. His water is called Daivata. Then from his navel, the stem of the lotus flower sprouted, and on the flower petals, the birth of Brahma, or the master engineer of the universal plan, took place. Brahma became the engineer of the universe, and the Brahma was generated from the Rajaguna of Prakriti, or the mode of passion in nature. And Vishnu became the Lord of the mode of Vishnu, being transcendental to all the modes, is always aloof from materialistic affection. It has already been explained. From Brahma there is Rudra, Shiva, who is in charge of the mode of ignorance or darkness. He destroys the whole creation by the will of the Lord. Therefore, all three, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are incarnations of the Daivata Vishnu. From Brahma, the other demigods like Daksha, Marichi, Manu, and many others become incarnated to generate living entities in the universe. This Daivata Vishnu is glorified in the Vedas, in the hymns of Garvastuti, which begins with the description of the Lord as having thousands of heads, etc. The Daivata Vishnu is the Lord of the universe, and although he appears to be lying within the universe, he is always transcendental. This also has already been explained. The Vishnu, who is the plenary portion of the Daivata Vishnu, is the super soul of the universal life, and he is known as the maintainer of the universe of Daivata Vishnu. So the three features of the original Purusha are thus understood. And all incarnations within the universe are emanations from this Daivata Vishnu. In different millennia, there are different incarnations, and they are innumerable, although some of them are very prominent, such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, and many others. These incarnations are called Leela incarnations. Then there are qualitative incarnations such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, or Rudra, who take charge of the different modes of material life. Lord Vishnu is not different from the personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is in the marginal position between the personality of Godhead and the living entities or Jivas. Brahma is always a Jiva Tattva, the highest pious living being, or the greatest devotee of the Lord. He is empowered with the potency of the Lord for creation, and he is called Brahma. His power is like the power of the sun reflected in many of the stones and jewels. When there is no such living being to take charge of the post of Brahma, the Lord himself becomes the Brahman and takes charge of the post. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being. He is the plenary portion of the Lord. But because Lord Shiva is in direct touch with material nature, he is not exactly in the same transcendental position as Lord Vishnu. The difference is like that between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, but yet it cannot be used in place of milk. The next incarnations are the Manus. Within 1 day duration of the life of Brahma, which is calculated by the solar year as 4,300,000 years into 1,000 years, there are 14 Manus. Therefore, there are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma and 5,040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years of his age, therefore there are 5,040 into 100 or 5 lakh 4,000 Manus in the duration of Brahma's life. There are innumerable universes with one Brahma in each of them, and all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing time of the creation. Therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of the creation. The Manus who are prominent within this universe are as follows: Yajna as Swayambhu, Vibhu as Svarojisha Manu, Satyasena as Uttama Manu, Hari as Tamasa Manu, Vaikuntha as Daivata Manu, and Ajita as Chakshusha Manu. Vamana as Vaivasvata Manu. The present age is under the Vaivasvata Manu. Sarvabhauma as Savarani Manu. Rishabha as Daksha Savarani Manu. Vishwaksena as Brahma Savarani Manu. Yogeshwara as Deva Savarani Manu. And Bharat Bhanu as Indra Savarani Manu. These are the names of one set of 14 Manus covering 4,300,000,000 solar years as described above. Then there are the Yugavatars or the incarnations of the millennia. The Yugas are known as Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The incarnations of each Yuga are of different colors. The colors are white, red, black, and yellow. In the Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna in black color appeared, and in the Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya in yellow color appeared. So all the incarnations of the Lord are mentioned in the different scriptures. There is no scope for an impostor to become an incarnation, for an incarnation must be mentioned in the Shastras. An incarnation does not declare itself to be an incarnation of the Lord, but great sages agreed by the symptoms mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The features of the incarnation and the particular type of mission which he has to execute are mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Apart from the direct incarnations, there are innumerable empowered incarnations. They are also mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Such incarnations are directly as well as indirectly empowered. When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnations, but when they are indirectly empowered, they are called vibhutis. Directly empowered incarnations are the Kumaras, Narada, Prithu, Shesha, Ananta, etc. As far as vibhutis are concerned, they are very explicitly described in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Vibhuti Yoga chapter. And for all these different types of incarnations, the fountainhead is the Garbhodakashai Vishnu. So, next verse. Saeva prathamam deva kaumaram sargamashrita chacharatu sharam brahma charyanta pranaditam. उन्हीं भगवान विष्णु ने प्रथम कौमार सर्ग में सनक सनंदन सनातन और सब कुमार ये 4 ब्रह्मवेत्ता ब्राह्मण के रूप में अवतीर्ण होकर अत्यंत कठोर और अखंड ब्रह्मचर्य का पालन किया. So here Saha, that Eva certainly Prathamam first, Deva, the Supreme Lord, Komaram, named the Kumaras, unmarried, Sargam, creation, Ashika, conduct, Chacharam, perform, Ishcharam, very difficult to do, Brahma, from the order of Brahman, Brahmacharya, from the discipline to realize the absolute Brahman. First of all, in the beginning of creation, there were the 4 unmarried sons of Brahman. Kumaras, who being situated in a vow of celibacy, underwent severe therapy for their region of the world is structured, maintained, and given another. So there are different needs of the nations in terms of the particular father of the living being in the nation. The Kumar has above mentioned the Kumar condition of the living being. And teaches the process of Brahma realization to undergo a severe type of disciplinary action. These Kumaras are empowered interventions, and before executing a severe type of disciplinary actions, all of them became qualified. This example suggests that one must first acquire the qualifications of a Brahmin, not simply by birth but also by quality. And the one can then one undergo the process of Brahman realization. Now, second incarnation of Bhagavan is described. So basically, you will see that Bhagavan's incarnations are there. Purusha avatar, there are three Purusha avatars. When mass incarnation comes, Karananavasaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Gunavatar, the incarnations of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, Maheshwara. Lila avatars are Matsya, the fish incarnation are Lila avatars. Manvantara avatar are 14, Yajna, Vibhu, Satyasen, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajit, Vaman, Sarvabhauma, Rishabha, Vishwaksena, Dharmasetu, Sudama, Yogeshwar, Bharat, Bhami. These are Bhagwan's Manvantara avatar. Yuga avatar, there are four. Shukla, Rakta, white, red, black, and yellow. Shakti avatar are Prithu, Vyasa, Parshuram, Buddha, these are Shakti avatar. Shakti Hindu Bhavayasya, Prasatala Gatam Mahim, Uddharishadnuna, Uddharishun Upadatta, Vednisha, Sataranda. इस विश्व के कल्याण के लिए यज्ञेश्वर श्री विष्णु ने असाधन में गई हुई पृथ्वी का उद्धार करने की इच्छा से द्वितीय अवतार में श्री वराह रूप धारण किया था. So this told he that repeat second but Havaya from the welfare of this Rasatana of the first and Uddharishan, Path, the proprietor of the Supreme Vijaya, O Dharam, Akish, the Supreme Vijaya are all sacrifices except the incarnation of a boar, second incarnation for the rest of the earth to be earth from the nether regions of the universe. The indication is that for each and every incarnation of the personality of Godhead, the particular function executed is also known. There cannot be any incarnation without a particular function, and such functions are always extraordinary. They are impossible for any living being to perform. The incarnation of the boar was to take the earth out of the Pluto's region of filthy matter. Picking up something from a filthy place is done by a boar, and the all-powerful personality of Godhead displayed this wonder to the Asuras, who had hidden the earth in such a filthy place. There is nothing impossible for the personality of Godhead, and although he played the part of a boar by the devotees, he is worshipped, staying always in transcendence. So Bhagavan appeared as the shape of boar incarnations. Then the third incarnation is Vishika Sargam by Devarshitva Bhupetasa Tantram Sartama Chashta Nishkarmam Karta. इन भगवान श्री विष्णु ने ही तृतीय अवतार में ऋषियों में देवर्षि श्री नारद के रूप में अवतरित होकर सात्वत तंत्र पंचरात्र की व्याख्या की. So Bhagavan appeared among the sages as Devarshi Narad, and he wrote books called Narad Pancharatra. This is the tantra in the mode of goodness. पंचरात्र. इस पंचरात्र के अनुसार वर्णाश्रम धर्म आदि का अनुष्ठान करने से कर्म उनका नाश होता है. You follow the वर्णाश्रम धर्म, the division of society as per social divisions and spiritual divisions as per Pancharatra. Then all your pious bad activities and karma and destroyed, and one will be liberated. So here, Bhagavan's third incarnation, Tritiyam, the third one, Rishi Sargam, the millennium of the Rishi, why certainly they worship from incarnation of the Rishi among the universe. Vipetya, having accepted Saha, he, Tantram, exposition of the Vedas, Satvatam, which is especially made for devotional service. Achashta, corrected, Nashtarnam, non-fruitive, Karmanam, of work, Yataha, from which. In the millennium of the Rishis, the personality of Godhead accepted the third empowered incarnation in the form of Devarshi Narada. He is a great sage among the demigods. He collected expositions of the Vedas which deal with devotional service and which inspire non-fruitive action. The great Rishi Narad, who is an empowered incarnation of the personality of Godhead, propagates devotional service all over the universe. All the great devotees of the God, all over the universe, and in different planets and species of life, are his disciples. Srila Vyasadeva, the compiler of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is also one of his disciples. Narad is the author of Narad Pancharatra, which is the exposition of the Vedas, particularly for the devotional service of the Lord. This Narad Pancharatra trains the karmis of the fruity workers to achieve liberation from the bondage of fruity work. The conditioned souls are mostly attracted by fruity work because they want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. The whole universe is full of fruity workers in all species of life. The fruity workers include all kinds of economic development plans. But the law of nature provides that every action has its resultant reaction, and the performance of the work is bound up by such reactions, good or bad. The reaction of good work is comparative material prosperity, whereas the reaction of bad work is comparative material distress. But material conditions, either in so-called happiness or in so-called distress, are all made ultimately for distress only. Foolish materialists have no information of how to obtain eternal happiness in the conditioned state. Sri Narad informs these foolish fruity workers how to realize the reality of happiness. He gives direction to the deceased men of the world how one's present engagement can lead one to the path of spiritual realization. The physician directs the patient to take treated milk in the form of curd for his sufferings from indignation, and he is taking another milk preparation. So the cause of the disease and the remedy of the disease may be the same, but it must be treated by an expert physician like Narad. The Bhagavad Gita also gives the same solution of serving the Lord by the fruits of one's labor. That will lead one to the path of Nishkarma or liberation. So suppose you have indigestion, so if you drink too much milk, then the doctor will give you curd. Curd will cure the indigestion caused by milk. So expert doctor like Narad Muni can tell us how to become free from karma by engaging in the devotional service of Bhagavan. So the fourth incarnation of Bhagavan is explained. Surye dharma kala sarge nara narayana vrishi bhutvatmo pasamo vetam apar pushcharam. चतुर्थ अवतार के रूप में इन्हीं भगवान ने धर्म की कला अर्थात पत्नी मूर्ति के गर्भ से नर नारायण नामक दो ऋषियों के रूप में अवतार ग्रहण किया. तो फोर्थ इंकारनेशन ऑफ भगवान इज नर नारायण ऋषिस, टू सेजेस. They took birth from father named Dharma. Great sage named Dharma was their father, and mother's name was Murti. She is actually wife of Dharma. She is called Indri Bhushan, Kala, or wife of Dharma. So father named Dharma, mother named Kala. Two sons were born, who are great sages, incarnations of Bhagavan, Nara and Narayan. Nara Rishi and Narayan Rishi. इस अवतार में उन्होंने आत्मा को प्रसन्न करने वाली अत्यंत कठोर तपस्या का आचरण किया. In this particular incarnation, Bhagavan performed very intense austerity that pleases one's soul. Actually, tapasya pleases the soul. And self-realization tortures the soul. Surye dharma kala sarge nara narayana vrishi bhutva mopashamo petam Surya, in the fourth of the line, Dharma Kalaha, wife of Dharmaraj, Sarge being born of Naranarayana, when Narayana, Rishi sages, Bhutva, Atma Upasham, controlling the senses, Upetam for achievement of Aparo under which term very strenuous, Tapa appeals. In the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Narayan, the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. Thus, he undertook severe and exemplary penances to control the senses. As King Rishabh advised his sons, tapasya, or voluntary acceptance of penance for realization of the transcendence, is the only duty of the human being. It was so done by the Lord himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. The Lord is very kind to the forgetful souls. He therefore comes himself and leaves behind necessary instructions and also sends his good sons as representatives to all conditioned souls back to God. Recently, within the memory of everyone, Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose, to show special favor to fallen souls of this age of iron industry. The incarnation of Narayan is worshipped still at Badrinarayan, on the range of the Himalayas. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viprutam Govacha Sure Sankham. पंचम अवतार में वे सिद्धों के श्रेष्ठ कपिल नाम ऋषि के रूप में प्रकट हुए थे। तब उन्होंने काल के प्रभाव से लिप्त प्राय और तत्वों का निरूपण करने वाले सांख्य दर्शन का आसुरी नामक ब्राह्मण को उपदेश किया। The fifth incarnation of Bhagavan is called Kapila Rishi. He is the best among perfected souls, best among the Siddhas. And Sankhya Darshan, the Sankhya Darshan which had vanished due to the effect of time period, time factor. And this Sankhya Darshan is full of many spiritual truths. So he explained this Sankhya Darshan to one Brahmana called Asuri. So Kapil Dev explained Sankhya Darshan to one Brahmana called Asuri. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Sure Sankham. Panchama, the fifth one, Kapila, Nam of the name. Siddhesha, the foremost amongst the perfect. Kala, time, Viplutam, lost. Provacha said, Asurje, with the Brahman name, Asuri. Sankham, metaphysics, Tattva Brahman, sum total of the creative elements. Vinirnayam, exposition. The fifth incarnation named Lord Kapila is foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahman. For in course of time, this knowledge had been lost. The sum total of the creative elements is 24 in all. Each and every one of them is explicitly expressed in the system of Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymological meaning of the Sankhya is that it explains very lucidly the analysis of the material elements. This was done for the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said herein to be the fifth in the line of incarnations. So now we are discussing the sixth incarnation. Shashtamatre Rapattatvam Vrutaha Prapto Anasuyayan Vikshiti Avalarkaya छठे अवतार में वे महर्षि अत्रि की पत्नी अनुसुया की प्रार्थना से दत्तात्रेय नामक उनके पुत्र के रूप में प्रकट हुए। इस अवतार में उन्होंने अलर्क नामक ब्राह्मण और प्रहलाद आदि राजाओं को आत्मविद्या का उपदेश दिया। तो सिक्स इनकारनेशन ऑफ भगवान श्री कृष्णा इज द सन ऑफ ग्रेट सेज अत्रि ऋषि, महर्षि अत्रि, एंड हिज चेस्ट वाइफ अनुसुया. She is born by the name Dattatreya. In this incarnation, he educated one Brahman named Alarka, and things like Prahlad Maharaj in the about Atma Vidya, the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of the soul. Shashtam atre apattatvam vrita prapto anusuyaya anviksitim alarkaya Prahlada. Shashtam, the sixth one. Atrehe of Atri, Apatatvam, sonship, Vritaha, being prayed for, Praptaha, obtained, Anusuyaya, by Anusuya, Anvikshikim, on the subject of transcendence, Alarkaya, unto Alarka, Prahlada Adibhya, unto Prahlada and others, Uchivan spoke. The sixth incarnation of the Purusha was the son of the sage Atri. He was born from the womb of Anasuya. He prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transcendence to Agartha, Prahlad and others, Yadu, Hai Hai, etc. The Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, the son of Rishi Atri and Anasuya. The history of the birth of Dattatreya and the incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Brahmanda Puran in connection with the story of the devoted wife. It is said that Anasuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before the Lords, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as follows. My Lords, if you are pleased with me and if you desire me to ask from you some sort of blessings, then I pray that you combine together to become my son. This was accepted by the Lords, and as Dattatreya, the Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit soul, and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlad, Yadu, Hai, etc. So, we'll stop here and we'll begin tomorrow's class from 7th incarnation. And the son of Apiti. So, that's the verse number 1.4. I will say 1.3.12. That will be the next verse tomorrow. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.